Hello there and welcome to my YouTube channel, Julia McNeil Crafts or Samantha K, depending where you find me today. So today is time for my Samantha K design team project. I do one every fortnight and it uploads on a Monday at 11 o'clock. So today I am going to use these two pieces of MDF here, and I'm thinking of creating a sort of under the sea tag. So to do that, what I'm going to do is first of all prep my canvas, which is a recycled bit of packaging, because why not? Because it's nice. These things tend to be nice and sturdy, and they take a fair amount of abuse, and you know, we're saving the planet by using up our by using up. Oh, I can't find my words. That is going to be a really good start to the evening, isn't it? Dearie me. Yes, so what I'm trying to say is by using up the packaging, stopping it going in landfill and whatnot, because this does have a coating on it, so I'm not sure if it's fully recyclable, because a lot of these things aren't, unfortunately, but at least we can sort of turn them into beautiful works of art that will decorate our homes or make nice gifts and not end up in a landfill. So I am going to just give this a little coat of gesso, and then we will do a few things to create a little bit of texture. I'm just going to allow that to dry a little bit, and while I'm doing that I'm going to prime my MDF. You don't need to, because this MDF is just beautiful and it takes whatever colouring medium that you use, it takes it beautifully. So it's not like you need to prime it or the colour will not stick. It's just for me, I quite like my bright colours, and basic colour theory would tell you that if you are laying on to white, you will get a truer colour. So if you're looking at your product and thinking, I really want that blue, you're going to get that blue if you put it on white. If you put it on a different surface, obviously the tone of that surface will come through. So it's personal choice. You absolutely do not need to prime it. As I said, I think my first project I did for Samantha K, the journal cover, I didn't prime it at all, because on that project I was going for like nice vintagey colours. And so the fact that I was putting colour over the brown MDF made no odds whatsoever, because it was actually going for the look that I wanted. Whereas this, I'm hoping to have like a really nice vibrant look, in which case I just want my base to be white. So it's personal preference, but as I said, quality of product, you don't need to. But I still quite enjoy doing that with mine. So I'm just going to give this, and as you can see, it's taking this beautifully. This is my 13 Arts gesso. I have to say it's my absolute favourite gesso. Dawn introduced me to this and I love it. Unfortunately not that easy to get hold of in the UK. The lovely Dawn got this one for me, and I think in the end she had to get it from Poland, which is a shame. There's not many UK stockists at all. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but it is lovely. And the reason I like it is it's really, really thick. So it covers very, very well. But also, you can get away with using it as texture paste as well, which I am going to do with this particular project. So I'm just going to finish whiting this out. I am probably going to give my tag another coat of white, and then I will be back. Okay, so my tag has now had 3 coats, and I am going to get one of my circle stencils. I love this circle stencil, as you may know if you have followed my channel, because you will have seen it featured quite a number of times. So I'm just going to pop some, not many, just some circles down the edges, and as I said, because this is 13 Arts gesso, I can get a really nice thick layer of that, and so I'm not having to go and reach for my texture paste now. I can manage that fine with what I've got there. So I'm just going to put that there. Actually, I think I'm going to bring it slightly further down, because that's just looking a tad too even for me. I don't really like that. I like things to look a bit uneven. That'd be the opposite to even, eh? Okay, And then I'm going to put a little bit just in the middle here as well. And then I will probably clean off this stencil in a journal off camera. So I'll just grab a damp cloth and wipe that over. Okay, so that's me done the stenciling. Covered in gesso now. I'm just going to grab that up because I'm actually not quite finished. So this hasn't gone overly even, but that's okay, because I was actually going to be creating some texture anyway with my palette knife. So these bits that are not overly even, I'm just going to do something like that, and I am going to do more of that at the bottom, so it's almost going to create the texture of a seabed. Well, at least in my head. It might not be in anybody else's head, but my head's quite happy with that notion. So I'm thinking that, you know, this is my seabed, and the grasses and the circles at the top there are the bubbles. So just to emphasise that texture, now I am going to grab some white thread. This is really cheap, nasty stuff. You know these dodgy sewing kits that you buy for like £1 and the thread is absolutely shocking in it and breaks every 2 seconds and you can't actually sew anything with it. That's this stuff. But it's perfect for mixed media. So I am just going to place that in, and again this is me sort of building up my layers for, you know, to create the texture of the seabed. So I'm just going to get another lot of that now and just place that there. I'm just popping that into the gesso so it sticks, and I'll probably grab another little bit of gesso there, and I'm just going to secure that in, and then I will need to dry that somewhat and clean my hands and my desk, and then I will be back and we will try see where we are with the design and try adding some colours. So yeah, as I said, I'm hoping this thread sort of is going to give some of the textures of the seabed, especially once we've got some colour and stuff in as well. What I might do, no actually I'll not do that, I was thinking I might put micro beads in it, but I'll maybe add that in between some of the elements when I know what I'm actually doing. Okay, so I will be back in a moment. Well, I did have nice clean hands, and then I've been drying this with the heat gun, which is why it's a little bit warped, because I'm impatient. And of course I stuck my finger in something to see whether it was dry, and it wasn't, so now I'm back to having gesso all over. And I'm in the loft and I have to have the hatch closed over me because the cat tries to get up. So anytime I want down, I have to shout at my husband to go and undo the hatch so that I can come down, and I've literally just been down and up, so I don't want to disturb him again just because, you know, I was stupid enough to stick my finger in wet gesso. So this is not the route I was going to go down. I was thinking of getting my Loomies out. I still might later, but as I was opening my box I was like, oh, my magicals, I've not played with them in forever, and I love using pigment powders. I love the fact that you have no idea what's going to happen. It's similar when you play with your brushes or something. You just a little bit goes a long way and you have absolutely no control. Once you spread that water, it's going to do its own thing and you can't overly plan it, and I love that because I think it makes it, oh, this one hasn't even been opened, my word, and I've had them for years as well. Yeah, so you just have to kind of go with the flow, and I just think that gives a really nice look. It stops things looking quite so contrived. So, and then I found these in my stash, Cosmic Shimmer drawing pencils. These probably don't even exist anymore and they've been in my stash forever, so I thought, let's do a bit of stash busting while we're at it. Okay, so now I'm going to spray this with water. You can see why they're called magicals. It's such a good name for them, isn't it? Because just gradually, out of nowhere, you get this gorgeous colour. Love, love, love. I'm going to spray loads of water and really get them moving. Oh, I love that. I love the way it catches the texture. It's yummy, yummy. Oh, that's good. Right, I think, let's see if we can get a little bit more going on the other side. I love doing this. I love the fact that everything looks so random, you know, like you've got these random dots and string kind of on a bit of paper, and then suddenly a bit of colour and the whole thing just sort of comes to life. Brilliant. Brilliant. Love it. So I've used the Sapphire, the Blingity Blonde, and Drop Dead Gorgeous Green. And again, it's because all of these colours, they're, you know, similar side to the colour wheel. Obviously the blue and the yellow will make green, so we're going to get lots of different tones and things. So my what do you call it, camera is playing up, so I don't know if I'm still recording. Oh no, I am. I suddenly decided to jump back into life. But anyway, as it is, I'm probably going to have to stop so that we can let this dry a little bit. I am loving how this is dried. I'm really, really chuffed with it. And sometimes it's kind of like, oh, it didn't really turn out quite how I expected, but let's make it work. This I absolutely love. Now I'm going to go in with these drawing inks, just to use them up really. I've had them in my stash goodness knows how long, before my daughter was born anyway, and she's coming up for 8. So it's been a while. So yeah, I think I got them because I always preferred colouring more than anything else. But to be honest, I quite often, when I am colouring you know, a project like this, will grab sort of like the, what do you call it, the, you know, you take the thing off the bottle, so it's like I would do it with a little wire. So I suppose it's similar to doing this, and it's got a lovely sort of sheen on it. So this is where obviously it's nice having the random colours, but there's certain areas that I want to be darker. You always kind of want to frame it. You want your project to have some sort of balance. So I want the, this is where I can be a bit more specific. So I'm still going to have the randomness of what I've done before, but we can just add some, you know, colours in specific areas that we want. I love that. Absolutely love that. When I started this project, I was like, I kind of had a rough idea about, you know, sometimes these sort of style of projects, they work out better in my head than they do in reality. That still might be the case. You might be looking at it going, Julia, what on earth are you doing? But, you know, I'm loving it. I'm having a lovely time. I am very happy playing in my craft room. Love it. That's so good, and it's I'm gonna have to refill this water bottle. Yeah, so I've kind of created a bit of frame because the flow of water, it's kind of gone across here, which is really cool. But I obviously want the corner edges and the bottom to be darker because, you know, I suppose it's similar to when I put a black line around everything. We're framing it. We're creating a vignette sort of thing, but we're doing it with a slightly different technique. So this is where I'm starting to be a bit more specific with my colouring. Look at that, it does. I love the fact I've put that thread on it. I think we're definitely sort of getting waves of ocean effect there. Very happy. Is it bad to be this in love with your own work? Oh, I'm happy. Well, that's the thing. That's the whole point of crafting, isn't it? It's meant to be a de-stress. It's not meant to be, you know, we're not creating works of art for the Tate Gallery. We're just having fun, or we're just de-stressing. You know, my daughter's in bed. My husband's downstairs watching some sort of rubbish on the telly that I wouldn't be interested in anyway. And I'm just having a lovely time in my craft room. So this one, oh, I like that. That's nice and bright and yellow. I'm just doing this for the sake of actually using that line burst, because it's the sort of thing that has been in my stash, and honestly, I don't know when I last used these. I didn't even know I had them. I mean, I've been in the box often enough because it's where I keep my Illumis and my Luscious powders. But I think they've probably sort of been in the box that long that I've stopped noticing them. So I'm maybe just going to put these down here to sort of differentiate this part, especially as we've got that dark line there. Now if the colours are sort of more vibrant on this section, it will sort of differentiate the areas a little bit. I'll just give it I mean, I like to have some sort of, sorry, I really need to fill this water bottle. I like to have some sort of you know, definition of where I want the colours to go, but I also don't want to lose the fact that, you know, it's random and free flowing as well. So that's why I kind of add that bit of water, because again, I'm sort of putting the colour where I want it, but I'm also losing control of it over the fact that I spray it with water and it's going to do its own thing. And that's sort of what will give it its, or you know, give it a nice organic, natural feel. Right, I think I'm just going to put a bit more blue on the top. Now I am going to dry this. Sometimes when you dry it, the colours will fade a little bit. They'll not be quite as vibrant as you first, you know, as it is now. If that's the case, I will probably just add a little bit more blue in the same sections that I've added it just now, and then see where we are. Oh, I'm loving it, I'm loving it. I did put an extra little bit of blue as I expected. I have now got Distress Ink Faded Jeans. I really don't want to overdo this. I don't know if the camera picks up that, but the sheen on this is incredible. So I just want to darken some of the areas because there's still could do with a little bit darkening. I don't know if I want to go right into black. It's normally what I would do because I want the contrast, but that blue is so beautiful. I don't know that I want to lose it, but I have brought it out just in case. So I'm just going to try coming in with a little bit of the faded jeans just to darken some of those areas that I'd quite like to be a little bit darker. Okay, I have got a little watercolour drawing. So it's a little watercolour painting that I had done ages ago. I did this for part of a YouTube hop with Natalie Bowers. I'm trying to remember what it was for now. It was, oh, Under the Ocean, World Sea Day or Under the Ocean Day or something along those lines. So I'm going to try just ripping this because I've got a nice sort of watercolour background, and if I fussy cut it, it would be a shame to lose that. But if I have to lose it, I have to lose it. But I think we might be alright. Because I probably prefer things fussy cut, but as I said, because we've kind of got that watercolour effect. Oh, look at that! I love her. I don't actually have that as an image yet, but I'm contemplating it. If anybody's looking at that and thinking it's lovely. The other thing I have here is a paper towel that whilst I was at Craftbox UK, we were colouring in little sort of chipboard snip art pieces, and I used this underneath to catch all the drips, and I saved it because it was just so beautiful and pearlised and everything that I thought it would make quite a nice feature on something someday. So I'm thinking it would work for this. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do now, but I'm just going to have a little play with this. But so this is it. This could have gone in the bin, but it's just so beautiful. Why would we put it in the bin? Save it and put it on another project. So yeah, I'm thinking that little bits, that's kind of getting into more pinkies now, but the blue bits work really well. Okay, so let's just see what I've got. So again, that could be sort of grass. I'm just trying to, do you know what, as much as I hate to lose my lovely watercolour background, I am going to fussy cut that out, and then we can have her then we'll sort of start layering some of this up and embellish it with something or other. So I'll be back once I have cut her out. Okay, so I have cut her out and I'm just going to pop her to the side just now. I've got my Loomies out. Now, we were at the retreat encouraged to put them in like a little dish, but I found because I was doing that, I wasn't then able to pour it back in the pot, and I would rather use more of this as paint than dried elements. But you kind of need to pour it out because they've got so much mica in them It does make it more difficult to open, but that's because I've got dried paint around the edge, but you know, I will peel that off and use it. But yeah, I thought I'd rather use it as paint than as like nice acrylic chippings. So I've now started doing it this way. So that wasn't necessarily what was recommended by Anna, but it's the way I've learnt to use mine. So sorry I'm faffing, I'm just grabbing a paintbrush. So I am going to, so as you can see, I stir the paint, that's how we were taught to do it, and then I'm going to put it on. Actually what I'd meant to do was this tissue that I caught all the paint on before, let's use it again. Because, you know, it turns out to be a random piece of art and a thing of beauty. So I'm going to put the paler colour on this. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to have in the foreground. I know I'm wanting to layer some of this up and some of the other stuff up. But I'm thinking because we've got lots of blues and greens, let's go for a bit of a contrast. So I am going to sort of blend the two colours into each other a little bit. It gives a tonal value. As I said in my previous videos, I do think kind of putting a couple of colour tones on it makes all the difference to things looking a bit more realistic. Nothing in life is a flat colour. You always have shades and tones, so putting that in your crafting just kind of gives it another dimension. It sort of lifts it to another level a little bit, so that's what I like to do. Now I haven't decided what colour I'm going to do my other one, so I'm just going to leave that just now to give that a wee dry, and then I will chop that down, start building up, and then we'll decide what the next colour that we're going to have will be. Okay, so that's dried off. I've just decided I'm just going to snip it down the middle. I knew I was wanting to split it, but rather than, that looks a nice convenient place to do it, because the MDF's just a tad thinner there, because that's where there's a nice delicate portion. So I'm thinking that if we have, I want to sort of, sorry, I'm just trying to think. This is quite heavy for me, so I'm actually just going to take the edge off this one. So I'm just going to cut down here. I will use this bit in other projects. Believe me, I don't let anything go to waste, as you can see. You know, we've got paper towel here, I've worked on packaging, it's like it's all there. But I'm just finding that the thicker line there is just a bit too heavy for this particular project. But that's the joy of these things, we can make them what they want to be. They're just ingredients. What you do with the ingredients is up to you. It's all fine and dandy. Right. Yeah, so I think let's just go with it. I think we need to start sticking stuff down or we'll never get anywhere. I'm just going to move this over a little bit. Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to try with my gel medium and see how we got on. I don't particularly have the drying time, but hopefully it'll secure it enough to hold everything. If not, I'll have to grab my glue gun, but I never find that quite as effective. I was meant to be recording yesterday and then made a last minute decision about a project or a venture that I'm working on, so then had to sort of get distracted with that. Then I thought, oh, I'll have this afternoon. And then my husband was like, oh, I'm just going to nip out for 5 minutes to do something on the van, and then I'll be back. And yeah, 5 minutes turned into the entire afternoon. So this is me finally, after dinner, getting up here and having a play. So it just means that despite thinking that I was fairly organised, once again I am running at last minute, but nothing new there. Whoops, no. I think, yeah, I'm going to have to grab the glue gun. Okay, I've already stuck that first bit down. I was just needing to check that my glue was hot enough. I'm still having a little bit of difficulty sticking it down, but I think that's because the project is still slightly damp. But that's my fault, that's standard. Right, so I have pulled out a whole load of trinkets here, and I'm hoping this will be like a real, not lesson, because we don't need a lesson, but showing that like we can use what we've got, use our really good stuff along with our bargain, it's not quite stuck, along with the bargains that we've got, and put it all together and it all looks amazing. It's just about sitting, crafting and having fun. Let's see, I hope I can get this on quick enough before the glue gets too cool. Okay, hopefully as we stick more stuff down that'll get a bit more stoked. Anyway, okay, so I've got my little seahorse. I think I'm going to put one of these just behind her, like so. Actually, I wish I'd put that. Never mind. Never mind. I'll put another. I've kind of got a bit of red there. I didn't really want red, but I'll get a second bit. So this is my torn up kitchen roll, and then I will put her down. I'll probably do some great big blobs of this to try and get a bit of dimension to the project, so that she's lifting up a little bit. Okay. I think it's looking really cute. Right, now I've got these, I bought these the other day from the works. They were part of my haul, my bargains that I got, so I'm just wanting to tuck. They're a little bit blingy for me. I don't tend to use big bits of bling, but sort of tucked in the right places they can look really good. So I'm just going to tuck some of those behind. It's already got a bit of 3D foam on it, but let's just go on with the glue gun as well. And I'm going to tuck that right under so we'll just see bits of it peeking out. So I have got, these were bargain things from the works, but I've then also got like really luxurious, gorgeous ones that I got from Craftbox UK. So I am definitely just mixing up all my stash today, and that is a-okay. Right, I've already managed to stick this down a little bit with the whatever's under there. So the glue's working, that's for sure, but I need it a bit more secure than it was, so I'll just give it its own glue. Now with a textured piece like this, I am getting a few little glue strings, but do you know what? It's all just part of the texture. It'll just look like some sort of sea spray or something. Okay, I want a little bit of this over the seahorse as well, so that she's just sort of like peeking out from behind the, I don't know, what do you call them? Like seaweed or something. It's very glamorous seaweed, I have to say. Very blingy seaweed. But then the oceans are beautiful, aren't they? They're stunning and they have so much colour in them. Right, let's see. I think I need another little piece of this. Or maybe I need a bit over here. Yeah, a bit over there just to give it a bit of balance. Okay. Now that I've got that down as a base, I'm probably going to embellish it a lot more yet, but I'm just looking at where I could put some of this. So I'm thinking that we should maybe have a little bit coming across here somewhere. Yeah, okay. I'm thinking if I cut along down here, and then I need to decide what colour I'm going to have. I might just stick with the same colours as we had on the last bit actually. So I'm going to cut that down round there. So as you can see, it's really easy to cut. I mean, it's really sturdy as well. It's not going to fall apart because you're crafting with it, but you can, with a little bit of pressure, quite easily cut it without sort of causing damage to the product or to yourself, which is always good. Right, and then I'm thinking that if we maybe had just a little bit up here somewhere as well, another little bit. Now I'm going to need to give that one something to sit on, so I'll work that out in a second. I'm just going to chop these and then give them a wee paint. So I've still got a bit left for another day. Oops. I'm saying it's dead easy. It's my fault because I've not chopped right through it. You kind of get to the point of, do you think people are going to be like bored stiff watching me sitting chopping through MDF? But so then I try and hurry it up, but that's not good because then it doesn't reflect well on the product, which is amazing. And I have to apologise, in my last video, I don't know what I was doing when I was recording my last one for Sam. I kept calling it like chipboard. It's not, it's MDF. So it's MDF and it's amazing quality. Yes, I think if we have a little bit there. So let's paint this, and while that's drying I need to think of something else to build up there for the MDF to stick on. So this again will show you the loomies, that they sort of will have settled. They don't look anything much now because the mica's all sunk, so you need to sort of stir that in to activate it a little bit. And oops, keep meaning to do it on this so that we can catch the gorgeous colours. So again, I'm putting this paler one on. I think these were from like the rose gold set. I'm going to put that paler one on and put it over most of it, and then I'm going to add extra details with the darker one. And then we will still have our three tones, because we'll have the lightest tone that we've mixed up. We will have this tone which is darker, so where that's hitting and it's not been, you know, there's not the other Lumi on it, it will be its true colour. And then you'll have the bit where the two colours have sort of mixed a little bit, and then that's where you're going to get your three tones from, your shadow, highlight and mid-tone. So you don't even need like loads of paints to create your all your tonal values. You can just do that with two. So there we go. I've just coloured that, and I will let that dry. Pop that to the side. I am just going to tidy away my loomies so they don't dry out. Okay, I think I'm getting there. So this bit that I chopped off earlier because I didn't like it there, I'm actually thinking that this side needs framed a bit better, so actually having a heavier element down that side would be good. So I'm just going to pop that on now. If I can get this glue gun wanting to work. That's probably going to have dried by the time I've got it there. So let's pop that there and hold that down. And now let's put this on, and then after that I'm not particularly sure what direction I'm going in. A few ideas, but I'm not overly completely sure. So let's get some glue on this, and we'll stick that down like so. So gradually, as I put some of the layers are kind of coming up, but there's going to be more and more glue going on, and gel medium at some point, so it'll all be fine. It'll stick. Right, I've got this chain. So this was like quite often the trinkets that you get from Craftbox UK will have a chain on them, but so this is a bit of chain sort of left over from something like that. So I'm not quite sure what kit that was. Again, I'm just using my glue gun, and I'm just going to roughly pop those down to stick them down. Okay, and then I was thinking, that I've got this starfish, but I don't particularly like it as it is. So I'm thinking, let's, what loomies have I got? And again, the reason I don't like this, okay, it's beautiful embellishment, but it's one block of colour, and for me that just never ever looks that great. So I know it's a personal thing, and you can craft how you want, So I'm not saying this is absolutely how it has to be done, but for me the fact that that's just one block of colour, I think it takes away from everything. Everything else is so multi-tonal and beautiful and organic and natural, and then you've got something that's just one colour. And that just doesn't work for me. So if you've ever wondered why you might find some things quite nice and other things not so much, it could just be something as simple as that. So this is one of the Loomies. I know I should kind of pour it out, but I don't really want to. So I'm going to just put some of the darker elements in the corners there, just to give that a bit of yeah, tonal value. And then I've got a brighter one, and let's just mix a bit of that in and see if that makes me a tad happier. I'm such a fusspot, aren't I? Well, the thing is, if you know what you like, you may as well go for it. No point making a project that you don't like. Right, so now I'm going to pop some of this in. As I say, you're meant to shake it and pour it out, but I'm not. This is just a quick fix. So I already like that better because now I have got 3 tones to it. So I'm just going to blast that with the heat gun. So now I am going to add a little bit of a gilding wax again on this chain, again to do this multi-tonal thing, because it just looks a bit like a block of colour, and you know, it's nice, and you know, I'd imagine that your chains that you find at the bottom of the sea are not, you know, blingity bling. They probably look a bit worn, but I think I'd like a bit more shine to them than what is currently there. So I've just added a bit of that to the chain. There we go. I'm trying to get it on the bits that'll be seen the most. So this is the Pebble gilding wax, and I'm also just going to add a little bit to this starfish as well. And see now the difference, well, for me, the difference having, you know, the different tones in there and a little bit of gold, it just now doesn't look a flat piece. So I'm liking it a bit more. So that's me, I got that, and then we can just maybe place that on there. Okay, we're getting there. Right, I've also got this bit to go up here. Right, so let's stick our starfish down, and we'll stick that other bit down as well, and then we will see what is next. Hopefully we should be on that. Now I'm going to need a new glue stick, so we'll just make do with what we've got there for just now. Okay, we're getting there. My battery died in between the last bit and this bit. So I've stuck that down with my hot glue, and while I was sorting my battery out, I found this paper pad that I've got from Katie Sue Designs. It's got lots of different sort of mermaid under the sea things. So right at the end there was like some little twiddly bits, little finishing touches. So I've fussy cut some of those out because I think they'll be just what I need, just because I'm just not overly happy. It's needing, as I said, it was needing some finishing touches. What's happened to my glue stick? I put a brand new one in there. It is. It's obviously not, just making sure I'm plugged in. Obviously not taken for some reason. Right, so I am just going to, I've shaped it a little bit, just a tiny bit. I've not got like my shaping tool or anything out. I've just sort of done that with my fingers. And I'm just going to pop some of these in, and I think they'll just be what we need to sort of finish this off a little bit. Actually, I'm just going to take that this bit off here, because I'm going to pop it behind there, so I don't think I really need it. Right, pop that there. Okay, and then rule of threes. It's me, let's face it, it's me. All these little things are going to like be there. because I'm obsessed. No, it's just because it's like I'll stare at it going, it doesn't look right, it doesn't look right, and it'll be because it's an even number. And it will only irritate me, so I may as well just know that and go with the flow. Okay, so I've got some little fishes as well, little fishes, which I've also cut 3 out of. Surprise, surprise. Okay, I'll have one. Yeah, it's kind of coming to life a bit. I did have like sort of embellishment fish, but they just weren't the right colour for the project. And I like this a bit better because then the focus is on the little seahorse, and of course the MDF, which is the star of the show. Okay, let's pop that behind there. And now I've also got, I'm not quite sure whether I'm going to use it, but I've put this, and I'm just wondering whether to have that there. I think that might actually finish it off. So we'll see. And the other thing that really needs done is some shadowing, because I think that's part of the problem, that we've kind of lost the seahorse and Sam's fabulous MDF, so I think we need just a bit of shadowing to sort that out. But when I do that, I'll do that on fast forward, because I do realise it is a tad laborious. So I'm thinking the other thing I've got is this. So I think if I was to put something like that there, which I think looks quite good, I should maybe have the word silver, but that also means I should have some silver down here as well, but we can sort that. So let's see, I will just pop this to the side again. I'm liking how it's turning out. I have to say, I'm having a lovely time. I have no idea how long this video will be, but I'd imagine it's one of those where you know, hopefully you've grabbed a cuppa and you know, relax and enjoy it. That's what I do. I like watching long YouTube videos, and I have to say, I either will, you know, have my nighttime beverage, whatever that may be. Sometimes it's nice healthy chamomile tea, sometimes it's a wee glass of something or other, and I'll sit and watch them craft. Or the other thing I like long videos for is what do you call it, when I'm doing the ironing. And I've got masses of ironing to do, but I've saved up some of my favourite YouTubers. I've not watched their videos just yet, but they will be getting watched at the beginning of the week, because they will be keeping me company while I am ironing and making the ironing bearable. So I mentioned earlier in this video that you don't have to prime your MDF, and here's a perfect example of it. I have not primed that in the slightest, and I have just managed to put that gilding wax on absolutely fine. Now this is Pebeo, so it's furniture grade, so it actually looks better when you buff it up. So I'm just going to buff that up a little bit so that we get a real sheen on it. Okay. So yeah, so either that, or maybe I've kept you company in your craft room. I had somebody message me on one of my videos the other day saying that I'd been on in the background while they were drawing, and I was like, oh, that's so nice. It feels so nice to be with you in your craft room. So that would be nice. If you are sitting crafting along with me, let me know, because I love that. I think sometimes, like with crafting, not all our friends and family get it. So it's nice to kind of think, I think that's what I loved about the retreat so much. You were just like with other people who were as batty about crafting as you were. Okay, I'm going to put that there, and then let's just go for it. That's looking good. So obviously I have used one of my drawings there, but I've brought in other elements there. So as I said, that could be anything. It could be a stamp, it could be a topper, it could be an image you found in a magazine. Just use what you have. That is the moral of the story. This is just inspiration. It doesn't mean that you have to go out and have everything the same that I have. It's just a little bit of playing. So I do need to bring some silver down here, because the fact I've now got silver up there and not down here, and I've got gold, is not going to be overly brilliant. So let's get some silver down here as well, and then what I might do as well is we'll maybe see if we've got sort of like silver gems or something that we can just tuck here and there. Give this a little buff too, but just so that it's coordinating. Okay, so we've done that. Right, I will just briefly explain what I'm doing with the shadowing, and then I'll pop you on fast forward when I do it. Okay, I normally do this with my Inktense pencil, but in the spirit of using what you have, I am going to attempt, it'll still work, I'm going to do this with my Kuretake Gansei Tambis. These are awesome paints, I love them. So they are a watercolour. To me they're almost like a gouache. They're not, they're a watercolour, but the thing is with gouache they're more opaque, and that's what I find with these. These are a lot more opaque. So the purpose of just building a bit of shadowing is it really helps to ground your focal point. And the reason being, I'm hoping that just as I do this little bit, you will see the difference. The reason being that, I know I've said this in loads of my videos, so if you do regularly watch me, I am sorry for repeating myself, but you know, I might have somebody that's never watched a video before, or sped past the bits where I'm waffling on about this. I know it happens. Doesn't bother me in the slightest though. Feel free to watch it whatever speed you want to watch it at. Yeah, anyway, the purpose of doing this is that dark colours always recede to the background. Therefore, it makes the brighter colours in the front pop forward. So hopefully you can already see the difference that just putting a little bit of colour behind my wee seahorse has made. And as I said, yeah, so that is just a bit of colour theory. That's why it works so well. Thankfully it's watercolour, so I'm just going to, that's the thing, if you make a mess with watercolour, it's literally self-cleaning. A bit of water and you'll move it. Yeah, so that's how I'm going to do my shadowing, and so the bits that are like tucked right in, they're going to be darker, and then I'm gradually going to pull that out, and then I'm going to create definition around my whole piece by doing that. I'm using Gansei Tambi and it's number 67 in case you're interested, but I'm just going to pop the rest of this process on fast forward. Okay, I know I bang on about shadowing a lot. I do mention it a lot, but I hope you really can see the difference that putting the dark behind that has made. Suddenly it's, sometimes we can get all the colours and they look so beautifully together, but because we've matched them all so perfectly, you can't see one on top of the other. That's where your shadowing and your edging and things does come into it. Suddenly now we can see all the layers, so I'm hoping you can see that. Ooh, this product is a bit delicate. It won't be once it's all dried, but it's because I'm working on it sort of semi-soggy. Okay, so I've just put a border around that. I will be tucking some gel medium under some of these bits that are lifting, and they're only lifting because I've used a hot glue gun. But I'm loving it. I absolutely love it. Right, let's see. We need, where's my pens? I'm just gonna do a little, I'm not gonna do it everywhere, but just in these lighter areas, let's do some doodles, some squiggles, circles, because I mean we are under the sea, so bubbles is good. Okay, and I'll do some more here. I love doing the finishing touches like this. You kind of think, oh yeah, it's done, and then just a couple of little touches and it's like bang, yep, that's it. I'm good to go. So we're pretty much there. All I'm going to do now is I have some of these clear gems, and I'm just going to, this is my Phil Martin glue, which I have to say I have just purchased and so far I'm liking. So that's all good. So now I'm just going to, in various places, stick some of this glue down and pop some of these little glass cabochons down in various places, because, you know, I think that works well with the under the sea theme. So let's just get a few of those down. Again, I'm thinking that it might be worth popping it on fast forward, because it's going to be a brilliant finishing touch. I think it's required, but it could be it could be a bit faffy. Okay, so while I was on fast forward there, I also added some sequins as well, because I thought, why not? They were looking at me and I thought, why not? Right, I'm just going to add some splashes, because let's face it, it wouldn't be me if we didn't have some splashes. Now I don't have a really good silver paint for this, so I am going to activate my zig marker, she says, and get something out of this. Oh, typical, typical. Right, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so that pen had well and truly dried up, so that wasn't happening. But I've had a search through Minecraft Stash and I do have an alternative. So here we go. I've got Spectrum Noir Spectrum Noir Aqua Tint inks. They don't actually do these anymore, but they do aqua tints in a pen version, and you can still do that, like what I was doing there, that you just get a bit of ink out onto your sheet and water it down a little bit, so you can still do the same effects with a pen. I quite often use pens actually, so that's not a problem. So I am just, oh, it's quite thick. It's probably been forever since I bought them. Probably gone off or something. See if I can water that down a little bit. I need to, we'll make it work. Yeah, it's gone a bit gloopy, but that's alright. I'll just add a bit of water. There we go. Now my splashes are happening. Right. Okay, so again, another one of my little quirks is I like to turn my work when I am doing my splashing, because otherwise all your paint splashes tend to go in one direction, and if you're looking for sort of like a random splatter over your project, you will make it look more random if you twist your work halfway through. So we'll just clean up. Okay, so that is me finished. I have to say I'm really in love with this. It's been a while since I've absolutely 100% adored the project that I have made, and I do feel like that with this one. I really love how it turned out. I'm very delighted with myself for that one. It's been so lovely to spend some time with you just crafting away. I hope you've enjoyed it too. If you have enjoyed it here, please do consider liking and subscribing. If you're on my channel, please do pop over and see Sam and give her some support too. She makes the most amazing product, and you'll find inspiration from many of her team over there. If you found me at Sam's channel, please do consider popping over and visiting me at mine. I will be back again very soon, so until then, take care and goodbye.